Now, let me say something. Just because it started before you doesn't mean it will end with you. You can take the particular decision to come out of whatever that you need to do. This is Joy Energy, and welcome back to Message in a Mess with Joy, where every struggle holds a message or story of hope for you. Watch till the end for inspiring video coming your way. Have you ever wondered why certain struggles seems to run in families, such as anger, negative self-doubt? This is what we call transgenerational trauma. The question is, what is transgenerational trauma? It is psychological wounds, emotional wounds transferred from one generation to the other. It could be from father, forefathers, it could be from mother, great grandmothers, just like in the video you're watching right now. Now, if you look at what is happening there, the great grandmother experienced a whole lot of traumatic experience, which could come from war or maybe from slavery that happened many years ago. And those people went through this and came out with issues, unresolved pain. And in this particular generation, they didn't take it upon themselves to do whatever it takes to come out of it because they didn't even see any issue out of it. And it was transferred to the next generation. That's what is going on in the video. And the grandmother didn't resolve it with herself. The anger continues, the self-doubt continues, the low self-esteem continues. These issues, the pattern continues. They move to the next generation. And next generation now is the mother. But the mother, when it got to her, she said, no, I'm going to make sure this ends here with me. So that's where we're talking about. So at this stage, we'll be talking about how do we actually overcome transgenerational trauma. Because some persons don't even know what it's all about. It could be caused by whatever that happened so many years ago to our forefathers. It could also be caused by family traumatic experiences such as neglect, emotional baggages, such as something that came from violence, abuse, and a whole lot of things. But this thing was transferred to the next person. Just like some of us are seeing on the internet today, some persons will brutally kill the parents, kill the father, or this husband killing the wife, wife killing the husband. Some of these things that we people are looking at as normal thing. Why is this person so mean? It is not. It is something that's been happening for generations, that somebody did took it upon themselves to resolve that pain that is happening on the inside. So many people have issues or patterns like insecurities. And these insecurities, when they move to the marriage with it, you see a man killing a wife as a result of suspect, or wife dealing with the husband because of suspect, because there is something that is happening in the inside that's not been resolved. It is what we call unresolved emotional battles. People moving from daughter to daughter, and someone can say that you can stop it. Now, let me say something. Just because it started before you doesn't mean it will end with you. You can take the particular decision to come out of whatever that you need to do. Now, let me give you some tips or ways out of transgenerational trauma. It could be whatever you're going through, a neglect that resulted to a lot. Maybe you're a mother, a father, or even a young person. You can tell to yourself, I have to resolve it right here. I wouldn't move this to another person. So let it end with you. Now, number one way out of it is, first of all, identify this trauma. Understand the stressors. Now, when you identify the trauma, it could be anger that is running in the family. What could actually lead to this? You might not be able to meet the forefathers to tell you what happened, but because you're an adult, you begin to see that there's something negative happening and you need to deal with it. Well, number one thing I mentioned here is identify it, because healing begins with an awareness. First of all, you have to be aware that something is wrong, and you know this is what I need to do. So another thing that follows is what triggers this when it comes up. Could it be self-doubt, low self-esteem, a whole lot of it? What triggers this insecurity? You mentioned it. Number two thing you have to do, seek for therapy and counseling. And that's why we are there. We have our therapy sections, we have our counseling section, which you can sign in. Our link is always on our post, so you can always reach out to us from there. So that's number two way, because you need an expert guidance to help you out of trauma, because this is nothing actually you don't know anything about. It's something that followed you from somewhere. So you need someone to guide you how to deal with it. Number three, pray towards it. Practice mindfulness. Pray towards whatever you think that is negative that you have to heal from. And number four thing I'm telling you again is to practice self-compassion. So be the kind of person that show compassion to yourself, believing that, oh, this thing is happening over and over again, but I can actually win the battle out of it. Once again, transgenerational trauma, it is not something that somebody can win the battle over. It may take time. Healing takes time, but recovery is sure. But with the right expertise, with the right guidance of a counselor, someone like me talking to you now, you can actually go through it and come out of it, so you don't move it to the next generation. So I believe you follow us in our next teaching coming up in the next section of our YouTube. Once again, trauma is a battle, and you can win the battle over trauma. If you don't, you move it to what do you call it? You move it to innocent generation. Let it stop with you. Whether it's a negative habit and addiction that has been passed down, you can stop it right now. So have a wonderful time. Thank you for watching till the end. Remember, for every mess, there's always a message of hope. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and on the notification button so that you'll be notified as soon as we drop our next video. See you in the next video.